Happy Dort Day and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show. Of course, coming to you live from Studio K, presented by Circle K. Make sure you join in Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Make sure you visit CircleK.com for details. I'm Anthony Totri, joined as always by Jose Perez. We got Jose Perez on today's podcast.
Of all days?
Just thinking of one, and Jose Perez.
We had two podcasts yesterday.
But you're missing one this week.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
We just had to, man.
Oh my god. This is how we're starting our Monday. Lu Dort's an NBA champion, and we're taking shots at me.
I mean, yeah.
After all I've been through this past weekend, we're taking shots at me.
Congratulations on Jalen Green. The Deli Man is behind the Mac, making all of the magic happen. Make sure you hit that like button, you hit the subscribe button, and you drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. JJB kicking it off in the chat, saying major shouts to Lu Dort. Retire that dude's jersey at DFA. I mean, first off, a hell of a Game 7. Say what you want. A hell of an NBA.
Man, heartbreaking stuff.
Hell of an NBA Finals, just point blank period, through and through. And Arizona State got to see a former Sun Devil be crowned as a champion.
You know what's so funny is so many people hate Lu Dort. So many people hate. And you know what, man? You know what? Like, I love Lu Dort.
Yeah.
Right? But when my team plays against Lu Dort, I don't like Lu Dort because he's a pest. He's a menace.
People hate Lu Dort.
People hate Lu Dort.
I haven't seen any Lu Dort hate.
I feel like
people hate.
He's
Lu
definitely
Dort.
the type of player that you hate. Like Pacers fans, I can understand why you dislike Lu Dort. Like I can get that. And he does play he's a very physical player. Best defender in the NBA. But I mean,
let me just read. Okay, here's the thing. I love Lu Dort.
Man.
You're going to let that go?
What, best defender in the league?
Yeah.
He's the best
he is one of.
I don't think he's the best defender.
I don't know if he's the best. He is one of the best defenders in the league.
Who's better?
Sadly, our boy Rudy Gobert.
Evan Mobley is better.
Our boy.
Yep.
Our boy. Future Phoenix Suns starting center, Rudy Gobert.
No, that's not happening anymore. He's not the best defender. He's one of. I think
I'm standing on. He's
the
best defender in the league.
He's a top 10. He's a top 10, potentially top 5. He can guard, I'd say 1 through 5, 1 through 4, very versatilely. His 3-point game, his development on that end has just been so incredible. But listen, man, people. Not that we're trying to start off on like a bad note, but people hate Lu Dort. Let me read off some of these tweets here. Lu Dort straight up doesn't play the game the right way. 14,000 likes on Twitter. Lu Dort might be the biggest loser in the league. 6'4", 220, and flops like a fish. How do the refs continue to reward this?
Was that last night?
This is all last night.
Okay, that was the first time I've ever seen him flop.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he's a flopper. I think everybody in the NBA flops.
He plays his ass off, dude.
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm saying. Like, I understand why you hate people that like are disruptors, like Dylan Brooks, who like are petty.
Yeah.
Lu Dort is quiet, stars in his role, and doesn't do anything extra. Like, I don't know how people hate Lu Dort.
19,000 likes on this tweet. 19,000 likes. Lu Dort is 1,000% the worst watch in basketball. Fatherless hoops he plays.
That's crazy.
What?
19,000 likes.
What? He doesn't try to
like a Pacers stan account. Or?
He doesn't try to create on offense. Like, what is he?
No, this guy's a Clippers.
He's a great role player. I think he's a great role player.
I think he's
fits
one of
his
the best
role
role players.
Perfectly.
One of the best role players in the league.
Yeah, he does exactly what you need him to do. And
he's going to get paid by like the Pistons and make Tobias Harris money, and then that'll be the end of his career.
Which is fine. And make your money, get your ring, get out of there. Like listen, man.
He got his ring.
Okay, enough of the negativity. Enough of the negativity.
I mean, it's not our negativity.
It's not ours.
The internet, which is not really a positive place in and of itself. So
as we know, and to a lesser extent we've experienced, like you're not doing something right if people don't have something bad to say about you.
Oh yeah,
right? Because a lot of people are just downright wrong, and all these people who are tweeting about Lu Dort and would cry if they were on his team, if he was on their team, because he would actually help them and he would play great defense. He could knock down threes. Dude, how about the Kyrie finish from him? He like floats in the air.
The jelly reverse. That was crazy.
Like, where the hell did that come from?
At first, when I saw that go in, I was like, wow, that was nice. And then they showed the replay. I was like, oh my
That
God.
was a tough bucket. That was a tough bucket.
He hit the super deep three. I mean, this guy, there are risers to the occasion, you know, and Lu Dort is not a superstar in the league.
No.
Right? But consistently on these big stages, he has continued to contribute and play well, and that's a testament to his mental fortitude. The fact that, like, honestly, when he didn't get drafted, I was a little surprised, but I definitely thought he was a second-round pick. And I thought he was an NBA player, but that was also back when, you know, three-point shooting was very important, but it wasn't like it is now where, like, the baseline is if you can't shoot, like, you're basically not going to play.
Yeah.
Right? When Dort was going out, you still saw some of these archetypes in the league that were so heavy defense that they didn't really need to shoot. Like, even like Dylan Brooks at the time, who hadn't developed his three ball yet, had a great spot in the league. So I thought, like, man, end of the bench, energy guy, great defender, somebody who can be a starter, you know, and be a great guy off the bench and whatever you really need him to be for an NBA champion, can defend the opponent's best player, point of attack defender, can defend interiorly, has developed his three-point shot, and has stepped up in multiple playoffs. I mean, this guy was making plays in the bubble against the Rockets. Like he steps up to the occasion pretty consistently for somebody who was undrafted. Who when I was covering him when he was playing at ASU, that was the one season that I was courtside covering ASU basketball, taking video, everything like that. And it was that season with him here. And I love the guy, but holy crap, man, some of the offensive games that he would put up, some of the jump shots he'd put up, I'd be like, will this guy ever learn how to shoot? And he has just been awesome in developing his game, and it's just so great to see him get rewarded and to see his career take this turn. He's going to be one of those guys that, like, you know, you're talking with your friends about, you know, basketball 20 years from now. Like, man, you remember just how much of a pest Lu Dort was?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, you look back even to last night's game when there was less than 5 minutes to play. Thunder were slowly starting to choke away their lead.
That this is a finals
right?
post game.
Well, I mean, McConnell was on an absolute tear, but there was a point in that game where Lu Dort had single-handedly stopped a run from the Pacers.
He picked TJ McConnell.
Yep.
And he trapped TJ McConnell, and then he hit that crazy three, and then he got that huge charge, which was a flop, or the huge offensive foul, which was a flop against Benedict Mathurin.
Welcome
and
to the
you
NBA.
know what? Those are Wildcats.
Yeah, 100%.
Welcome
he
to the
stopped
NBA
that
too.
run, though. He stopped that run at the end of the game when all the momentum was starting to shift towards Indiana. He's like, you know what? We're done here. I'm going to do what I have done since I started playing basketball. He played ridiculous lights out defense. Say what you want about the whistles and all that type of stuff. But he came to play on the biggest stage, and he did it realistically the entirety of the playoffs. You said he's like, you can put him against the opposition's best player, and he doesn't just stop them. He removes them from the game.
Yes.
Right? And he can, what I love about Lu is because of his size too, and just the way that he plays his strength, he's not somebody that he's like, okay, you're a 2 or 3, you're guarding just guards, right? I feel like he can definitely, I mean, go up against anybody at this point, right? He can hold his ground.
He can guard some fives. I mean, it's the NBA, so sometimes you go up against 7-footers, and 7-footers going to get a bucket on you. Like, that's just the way that it is. But OKC plays a very, like, advanced style of defense. They have to switch a lot of stuff, and he fits in great there. Simply put, the Oklahoma City Thunder are nowhere near NBA champions without Lu Dort.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
They're a good team, but they are probably a second round exit without. They're losing to the Nuggets.
Lu Dort is that guy, man.
They're losing to the Nuggets if they don't have Lu Dort.
And what's awesome, like we talk about his defense, and we see it as ASU fans. I got to watch it firsthand at ASU. And I don't want to turn this into like a Bobby Hurley podcast by any means, but like he is the definition of what like Bobby Hurley players should be. Prototypical, like you're not a 5-star dude.
Can't shoot.
You don't got the best offensive game, but like think about it. Like what have we said about Hurley's teams over the last 3-4 years minus last year? Right? Is they play just ridiculous, gritty defense for 2 full halves, and somehow at the end of the game, usually they're in it. They're there.
You can say what you want about the X's and O's and how the talent hasn't translated at ASU, but what you can never say is the players love playing for Bobby and they play hard for him.
Yeah.
Aside from Jose Perez, but other than that, they don't quit.
Not
like,
me, man.
They play their ass off night in and night out, and Dort was a
perfect example.
Yeah, perfect example.
Lu
of it.
Dort's playoff stats, right? First of all, like 23 games played, 23 starts out of there. Okay. He shot 34.3% from deep on 140 attempts. Okay. That's good for somebody who defends like him. He had 29 steals and 10 blocks.
Through this postseason?
39 stocks through the postseason.
I mean, and you look at the teams that they played, right?
Yeah.
The teams that they had to go through to get to this point. And for him to do that is just ridiculous, man.
Yeah. He shot 44.7% from three in the finals.
How many threes did he take
He took 38 threes over 7 games.
And shot 44%?
And shot 44.7%. Wow. He had 11 steals and 3 blocks across 7 games.
I'm pretty sure he had, 2 or 3 last night?
Yeah. And the thing with the thing with stocks and steals stuff, people just look at that and be like, oh, well, like it's he didn't get a lot of steals or whatever, even though he did. Think about like the defensive plays, contests, rotations that he makes, hustle plays that he makes that don't show up on the box score, right? Like you look at, he had 8.1 points, 4.6 rebounds starting for a finals team is obviously a key contributor, but his value went even beyond that, especially through a 7-game series.
Get him, Sharon. Get him. Like it's just, I don't know. And I saw this on Instagram too. We have a comment in the chat. I'm not gonna read it, but like just kind of hating on Lu Dort. And there was when we had posted the graphic on Instagram too, there were people being like, "You really celebrating Lu Dort? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you celebrate Lu Dort?" Right? It's the same thing that if the Wildcats in Indiana had won a championship, their whole show today would have been T.J. McConnell this, T.J. McConnell, Benedict Mathurin that.
We can show you the graphic we made for them. They had a graphic just like ours ready.
Yeah.
If the Pacers
First
won.
off, great graphic.
Great graphic.
Great graphic by Noah.
But my thing is,
I told you people don't like Dort.
It's insane.
Look, I see like that perspective if your team is going up against him because he's, like I said,
I don't like Lu Dort when the Suns are playing Lu Dort.
He's a very physical player, and he is 100% going to just bully your best offensive player.
Then you don't like hoops because Lu Dort plays the style of hoops that you're like, damn, that guy is good, and you almost laugh about it.
Yeah, I think there are certainly times that he gets the benefit of the doubt and doesn't get calls against him because he consistently, night in, night out, plays as aggressive as he does. I think people that have not watched the Thunder all year long and they watched him in the NBA Finals or they watched him in the postseason at all and they saw just the ridiculous defense, pretty much that the Thunder play as a whole, but mainly Lu Dort, they're like, why are they not getting calls? This is just how they play defense.
Well, welcome to the NBA. You don't have a problem with Lu Dort. You have a problem with the NBA. Like, the NBA has an officiating problem, and I agree. They let the Thunder get away with more contact. The Thunder were fouling. I mean, who was it that grabbed, I think it was Cason Wallace, literally grabbed T.J. McConnell's hand. Calling a spade a spade. Like, the NBA has an officiating problem when it comes to how guys are officiated and getting a reputation.
That's a great point, Will. That's a great point.
It's the game. Like, it's the same thing with Shea and free throws and stuff. It's like, okay, man, you don't like it? Fine. You don't have to like it. It's not their fault. This is the game. The game rewards what it rewards, and good players adjust to it. If you think that they're the only players who are doing that, you're wrong.
Yeah. They've kind of just perfected it. And I think that's almost like what irritates people the most about Lu Dort. Maybe it's just the Thunder in general, is because they don't get calls against them when they play the defense that they do. And then on the opposite end, Shea's getting the charity stripe every couple possessions.
Did you hear? I don't know if they've been doing this all year. It was the first time I heard it. Did you hear the sad violin noise they played when he got to the free throw line a couple times? Oh, it's so good. Like the players would be complaining about a call, and it was like the meme, like dun, dun, dun. It was so good.
Oh my gosh, it's wild. Sharon saying Pat Bev's still the most hated NBA player though, or maybe that's just me. Has Pat Bev?
He's not in the NBA anymore.
Yeah.
Plays. Where does he play now?
Overseas.
He plays overseas.
No, I don't
he has
even
a
think he
podcast
does.
now.
What?
I don't even think he plays.
I think he just hosts a podcast.
No, I'm pretty sure he played. Well, he played overseas. I don't know if
at one point. Glenn saying Dort plays like football was his number one sport, and he just happened to be good at basketball. I mean, yeah. I was telling Shane today, he's like the way he's just built. He's built like a football player.
He's built like an inside linebacker.
Yeah, 100%. Like a mean one. Not like today's day and age inside linebackers, where it's like, okay, you can run in coverage and cover tight ends, and you're fine inside the box. He plays like old school, like Chicago Bears.
If you're drafting a football team from NBA players, he's a top 5.
6'4", 220. That's a linebacker.
Yeah. And there are some guys that I feel like that are that size that don't play like that. But the way he plays defense, the way he stands his ground is like, he almost plays bigger than the 6'4", 220, 240? I mean, like
6'4", 280.
I mean, he plays that big, dude. Like that's just the way he plays, and it's awesome to see him get a championship, especially for a guy that's still relatively young. In the NBA. Like we know he got his nice contract. It was a couple years back, and not to have him be a champion, I think if we're not going to have that conversation about the whole potential Thunder dynasty, we'll leave that to other basketball talking heads. But
yeah, welcome to the 8th year in a row that a team wins a championship, and then all of their fans are saying, we could win it again next year.
It's just the way it works.
I mean, the Thunder, though, they have the 15th to 24th pick of this year's draft and a projected top 5 pick from last year who's been injured all season. So, yeah, they'll be fine. I'm really happy for him. There is the question about, the legacy at Arizona State.
Yeah.
And
how does this impact it?
Well, and that's the thing, right? One and done guy had a good impact here. The team was fine. The team wasn't great.
They should have been better than they were.
Yes. His individual stats were good, not all-time great.
Yeah.
I don't think he was the best player on that team. But when you talk about, success, I mean, obviously, James Harden has had the most individual success. But now for Arizona State players, like Lu Dort has had, is he the first Arizona State champion? I don't think Fat
Lever ever won one.
Won a championship. He's certainly, I think, the first Arizona State, and maybe I'm completely missing an obvious name here.
Did Byron Scott win a championship? Yeah.
Yeah. So him and Byron Scott as key pieces of a championship team, like 2 names in school history. So I think there's a question that we unpack after our first break, which is, should Arizona State retire
that number?
Lu Dort's jersey?
I'm here to have that conversation on the other side of this quick break.
Let's do it. If you're celebrating the NBA Finals or a Lu Dort jersey retirement, always make sure you check out Pure Edibles. Pure Edibles, founded in Arizona and available in 130 dispensaries statewide. They're not covered in sugar like all those other gummies. No, they're a full-fledged candy company, which means they're not just offering gummies. They offer Kicks, which is their version of Starburst, chews, and hard candies as well. The best part about Pure is the effects are clearly listed on the tin, so you know exactly what to expect. Plus, they're easy to be ripped in half or bit in half, making sure you can dial in your exact dose when you're taking edibles, especially if you are starting. Do not just take a bunch and see how you feel. Start low, find ones that have the desired effect, work your way up. It's better to take one and say, oh, I need more, than take one and say, oh, wow, I need just less.
Look at the stars.
Look at the stars and maybe start crying as well. So don't go big. Start small. Work your way up. Find what works for you. Go find yourself some Pure Edibles products from one of the over 130 dispensaries across Arizona.
Look, my good pal Rubus here is looking spiffy today, and I want to give partly some credit to him, but most of the credit's got to go to what's on top of your head. Of course, that is a branded Bills cap. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are looking for some gear to make your personal brand stand apart from the crowd, make sure you go to Branded Bills. They've got you covered with the best custom headwear in the game. You can start your order, and their dedicated team is going to help you create the exact custom apparel you need. And they've got pretty much everything you need as it relates to hats. Whether you need snapbacks, truckers, fitteds, beanies, or tees, Branded Bills has you covered with performance and style. And we're not just saying this because we have to. Literally, if you get yourself a Branded Bills hat, they are by far and away the most breathable hats on the market.
I was actually looking at this hat, and there's like little holes on it. I didn't even realize it. It's just
they're so comfortable,
nice.
breathable, comfortable, and affordable. All things at Branded Bills. Make sure you head to brandedbills.com and use code BBPHNX for 15% off your first order.
Eddie House won a championship with Boston in 2008.
There you go.
And he was,
there were 8 players that have won a championship with ASU.
Okay.
Big miss, guys.
Yeah, big miss. Eddie House, Jeff Pendergraph,
Byron Scott won 3.
Oh, yeah, Scott did. Jeez.
Yeah.
Is he the most integral part of one though?
Probably.
He's starting, right? Like, so Eddie House 2008 came off the bench, averaged 8.5 points per game, which is not nothing, for an NBA champion. But that was in the regular season. I don't know his playoff. Let me look at his playoff.
I'd love to
stats.
average 8 points a game in the NBA finals. That'd be pretty cool.
I'm trying to find his playoff stats.
No. You think I could score 1 point? If you gave me 7 games?
No,
not a point. Yeah, I don't think I could either.
No.
But I was just seeing where your confidence was in me, and it's apparently pretty small.
Well,
but that's fine.
I mean, if you were at the free throw line,
I no.
No, you don't even think I can hit a free throw?
With an NBA championship on the line?
I mean, yeah, but I didn't play the whole season. They just brought me in for these 7. I think I can hit one free throw.
You got the whole world watching.
If you gave me 4 free throws a game in the NBA Finals in a 6-game series, watching. I could hit it.
You could hit one of.
I could hit at least one.
One of 24.
Absolutely.
One of game.
I could hit one a game. 100%. I could hit
25%.
I think games?
I think you're underestimating like the depth perception of shooting on an NBA hoop with the fans behind you.
Yeah.
But two, the idea of everybody, and you're used to it.
I could get used to it in one game, 100%.
I don't think you could.
You saw my form, dude. Just let me tuck the elbow. Like we're good. We can get a free throw.
Totri tied me in a free throw competition. He's gone to I can hit free throws in Game 6 of the NBA Finals.
Hey man, you need me. I'll give you a point. Just make sure I get straight to the charity stripe. That's all.
The case for Lu Dort, and JJ puts it well in the chat, Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, right? He wasn't the best player on the team, but he was the best freshman in the conference. Was on a tournament team.
The Dort dog.
And won an NBA championship, and his career is still very, very much not over. So, does he get his jersey retired?
I mean, look, I think so much of that conversation is such, I don't know, man. That's because I know there are administrations that are all about like, this is what the player did in college. Right. So we're going to retire it based off of what he did in college. And then there's administrations that are separate, right? Mm-hmm. That are like, okay, you as a whole throughout your entire playing career were so amazing that we want to put your jersey in the rafters and retire it and let that be that. I think if you go back and look at all of the players at ASU who have their jerseys retired, which I imagine that is something that you're pulling up as we speak.
Yeah, so here are all the players who have their jerseys. They could say honored jerseys. So not technically the numbers retired, but the jerseys are in the rafter.
Probably more where we're looking. I don't see them retiring an actual jersey number.
I don't think any of these numbers have actually been retired. I think they're just honored, okay? So 5 for Eddie House and Ike Diagu. 11 for Byron Scott, 12 for Fat Lever, 13 for James Harden, 32 for Joe Caldwell. Jumping Joe Caldwell was a bucket. 33 for Lionel Hollins, and 53 for Alton Lister. So I think that Lu Dort, I think Lu Dort should be up there.
Does he belong in that conversation?
Here's the thing. It's also about like representing the school and what was on Lu Dort's jacket that he was wearing after the NBA Finals. It was an Oklahoma City patch, and then there was an Arizona State University patch.
Yeah.
There was the pitchfork on it. To me, and maybe this is like something that will give non-Arizona State fans something to like laugh about, but I don't think that this basketball program is at the place where if you have somebody who's kind of in that conversation who you feel like could deserve it, that you're going to start picking and choosing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at the last time. The last time they had a guy worth honoring. Right?
The most recent player was James Harden. The most recent number that they honored was Ike's. But Ike played last in 2005. Harden played last in 2009. This is the first guy that we could talk about since 2009. Like who else could get their jersey retired in that time for ASU?
I don't have anybody. I literally have nobody.
Anybody, Shane, that you think could deserve it?
Sorry, what was the question?
Anybody since 2009 besides Lu Dort that you could put in a conversation to have their jersey retired for Arizona State basketball?
Or honored.
Like there have been some great players, right? Your Trey Holders, your Shannon Evans,
maybe Remy.
Your Remy's, like Remy's great, but like Remy's will be remembered in college basketball the most for being in Kansas and did not do anything on the pro level in the NBA.
But does that matter?
I think so.
Well, I mean part of this conversation.
I know that's what this conversation is about.
I think if he went on to be a pro, won a championship, and was like repping ASU, and he was known as an ASU guy, like Lu Dort is, I think that's part of it. But was his individual achievements here good enough to have his jersey honored? No, it's good enough to be talked about as one of the better players we've seen over the last 15 years, but. Retired? I mean, Remy was a better player than Lu when they were on that team together. Like, I'll give him that. But there is, I think, more beyond that. And Lu has now gone and had that success. Plus, there is going to be more to Lu Dort's career.
Yes.
Right? So, hopefully, yes. I think there's a legitimate conversation to have it. Now, I don't know if you walk out there and you retire it tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the thing for me is I think if he continues down this path, let's say he gets one more ring, he continues to be all defensive teams every other year or whatever, like then yes, then I think there is certainly an argument to putting his jersey up in the rafters, especially if he continues to rep Arizona State and being a Sun Devil, even if it was just for that 1 year. If he's able to do that, then yeah, I certainly think that is something that Arizona State will look into. But as it stands right now, I don't know if one championship makes up for the fact that he was only here for a single season.
Good enough to be Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Maybe he needs more. I guess I'm a little less stingy on this personally.
See, I'm really stingy when it comes to this stuff because this is like you are an all-time legend.
Sure. So you say no.
This. I say no right now.
Okay.
But
so what,
I definitely
like 2
see a path for it.
championships?
He's what? Been all defense how many years?
I mean, so okay, but that's the thing, right? Like
accolades mean something in this conversation.
If a championship isn't enough, then like what is enough?
I'd say another championship and a few more years of being an all-NBA defensive caliber player.
All defense this year and champion this year. He has no other accolades in his career.
You add one more championship and I would say one more or two more all defensive team, then yeah.
Did you know that I'm only older than Lu Dort by 12 days?
Where's your NBA championship?
I'm still trying to find it, brother.
Still waiting on it, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. So what are you saying? Because I'm saying no now, but probably in the future.
I would do it.
You would do it now?
I will. Okay. I wouldn't. I think if his career ended right now, I would not do it right now. I would do it a couple years down the line. Yeah. But even if it's, I think stop here on out, I would put him up there.
So JJB asking a question here that I guess we still haven't really answered. Toshi, my question to you is, are you talking about his NBA legacy or his legacy as a Sun Devil? I think they go hand in hand. I think if you have a stellar career in college, which for him it was such a short career in college, that it does kind of have to be partnered with what you do at the NBA level.
I also think it's do you rep your school as well? If you were one and done, and then you go on and like Lu Dort celebrating his championship, right? And he's got the Arizona State patch. Like it's a part of who Lu Dort is and what people talk about with him. If that wasn't the case, it was like, oh yeah, where do you go to college? Oh yeah, Arizona State. It is what it is. Then no, I don't think so. Right? I do think that the fact that he embraces it plays into a fact as well. I don't know. I'm not gonna stand up here and
sit.
I'm not gonna. No, Shane doesn't like it when I get out of my chair. I'm not gonna stand up here and just tell you that if Lu Dort doesn't get his jersey retired, it's heinous, right? I don't think so. I feel the same way with Remy Martin. But if you want to retire both of their jerseys, Arizona State basketball is in a pretty tough place and doesn't have a ton of.
So is that something that you throw into this conversation as well? Like, given the state of the program, do you need just like a good, happy feel story for this? Do you need just like, our program is in the dumps right now?
Well, that's the thing is, I don't even know if I do it right now. Right?
I don't do it right now. I think you got to do it when there's
down the line. Well,
far more light on the program.
Diago got his jersey retired recently, and he stopped playing for Arizona State in 2005.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know. I think there's nuance here. I think if you're on either side of it, I'm not like gonna get mad at you. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you don't, oh, you do. I would. I'm a little looser with this stuff, but that's just me, I guess. And I think the fact that he reps this school and he's having success on the NBA level, I think that. And success is like an NBA, like a starter on an NBA championship team and an all defensive guy.
A crucial piece, not just a starter.
He's
the best defender on
the
best team in the NBA.
It's something, man.
Like that means something. What would you do? What would you do, Shane? If you're making this decision? If I'm saying wait and Rubus is like he's earned it, but we're gonna wait some time before we actually do it. Where do you stand on that conversation?
I don't think he has yet. So I don't know. I mean,
what would it take then?
Longevity in the NBA.
He still has some eligibility left. Come on back, Lou.
Yeah, I mean, he was good here. Wasn't great. He won the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, but I was just looking at that Pac-12 freshman, all-freshman team. Wow, it was bad. Best player on it, probably, aside from him, was C.J. Ellaby. Do you even know where he went?
Hands on that team? What year was he?
I don't know.
He was.
I was big on Jalen Hands. I thought Jalen Hands was going to be good.
Yeah, I just think you need longevity in the NBA. Like, you can't just win the championship and call it good. So I think eventually he should. as long as he doesn't just flame out somehow, which he's not the type of player that would.
This is his 6th year. This is his 6th year in the NBA. Yep. Like,
just getting started, though.
It's not nothing.
Yeah. No, I agree. And again, in this whole conversation that we had prior of like Thunder potential, like long term, right? He's gonna be a piece on that team.
So, but JJ's saying it's more important for the program, which I understand that argument. And I think it's a completely different conversation if you're saying, does he deserve it or should they do it? You know, that's a completely different conversation. Those two questions. So
you would say he deserves it, but they shouldn't do it.
Well,
no, I think it's the other way.
What I'm saying is there's a difference in does he deserve it and should they just do it because of the positivity it can inject to the program and whatnot. So those are two different conversations completely. Yeah. With circumstances aside, because if you're looking at this team as a UCLA or like a blue blood program, then obviously you're not having this conversation.
Yeah,
right?
But that's not what this program is.
Exactly. So it's all circumstances. Nelson brings it up, and who cares? Yeah, I think that's the right answer.
Yeah. I think Nelson cares. He cared enough to click and then comment, so I think Nelson certainly cares. It's definitely
it would be nice to put him up there while Hurley is the head coach. LOL.
So yeah, you'd probably have to do that this year. I don't know what's beyond that. Maybe we put a poll in the chat, see what chat thinks. Should Lu Dort have his jersey honored in the rafters at ASU? Vote in the poll. Let us know in the comments. Make sure you hit that like button. You hit the subscribe button. We're going to go from the hardwood to the gridiron on the other side of this quick break. Look, the holidays are around. People going on vacation. Look, by the time you get back from vacation, your finances probably going to be in trouble, at least if you're like me. All year long, I've been trying to get my finances straight, and our friends over at Mountain America Credit Union, look, they are committed to helping you guys get everything that you need as it relates to your finances in order. Okay, look, especially with the rewards credit cards that they have, you guys can get 2 times the points on rewards credit card purchases through July 31st. Make sure you take advantage through the summer. You can use your Mountain America rewards card and watch the points pile up. It's perfect for all the essentials: gas, groceries, travel, home projects, and all other purchases. Now, this promotion is an easy way to stretch your dollar since you earn twice as many rewards. Now, it is limited time only. Take advantage of it while you can. Details at macu.com/double. Loans on approved credit offer can change or be withdrawn at any time. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply.
Listen, if you're going to get new flooring, you don't want to do it wrong. You don't want to DIY, do it yourself, go to these big box stores, kind of get lost, spend a lot of money, and then end up regretting it because your flooring looks like crap and it's not what you want it to be. No. Empire Today is here for you on so many different levels. Not only are they going to give you, they're for you, for everybody.
I love
Not only would they give you, Anthony Totri, of all people, $350 off, but they'd give everybody $350 off as well. But it's not just the money that you save that makes Empire Today worth it. It's the quality of service that you get. Flooring professionals who live and breathe flooring will be with you every step of the way. You can have a free in-home estimate, pick the right flooring and the right colors for your space, see how it looks in your furniture with your house. Listen, you can also get next day installation. You just don't have to wait. Schedule a free in-home estimate today because some things are just better off at home. PHNX listeners can receive a $350 off discount when using promo code PHNX. You heard that right, $350 off discount. With promo code PHNX. Restrictions apply. Visit empireday.com/PHNX for full details. And before we shift away from basketball real quick, I do want to remind everybody that the NBA draft is
this week.
It is on Wednesday.
Cooper Flag, you are a Phoenix Sun.
While there are no Arizona State players that are going to be drafted, maybe Bashir Jihad. The Suns did work him out. 59th pick. Welcome home, bud.
They actually?
Yeah, they worked home, they worked out. They worked out Bashir Jihad.
Bashir Jihad, could he go crazy as a Sun?
No.
Trending next week?
This secret weapon unlocks Jalen Green and Devin Booker.
Bashir Jihad.
You would literally make a video on that.
Oh my gosh.
But we do have a draft guide over at gophnx.com. For those of you who love college basketball, who are interested in what's going on at the next level, we have a draft guide. It is for die-hards only. However, not just for those of you interested in the draft, but for everybody right now, an intro offer. We're doing it again. They said we couldn't do it. We said we'll do it again.
Wow.
$36, Anthony Totri. And not only do you get
$36?
not only do you get the draft guide, what else do you get when you become a diehard?
You get, I mean, literally everything under the sun. My favorite part about being a PHNX diehard, or just a diehard at any level of ALLCITY, is access to the diehard Discord. I know that Suns Discord is going to be popping on draft night.
Popping.
I'm sure it was going crazy yesterday when that trade went down. But whether you're a Suns fan, an ASU fan, a Wildcats fan, a Cardinals fan, a Diamondbacks fan, there is a chat for you that is going literally 24/7, 365, talking about sports. It's awesome. Obviously, you get the free T-shirt or hat every single year.
Yep.
Like, by the time you take advantage of all of the offers, like, the membership pays for itself.
Yeah, you get a hat, you get a shirt, you get access to all the diehard articles on GoPHNX.com, an ad-free experience at GoPHNX.com, 20% discount on all of our events. It's amazing. We literally have had diehards spend their own money for other people to get diehard memberships for free because
Sharon
that's
being
how
one of
much
them.
that they believe
Yeah.
in being a diehard and how much worth it that is. Plus, I mean, for Arizona State fans, listen, we gave away tickets to the BYU game
We did. That was a hell of a
last
game.
year.
Those were good tickets,
For
too.
diehards only.
Those are good
I mean,
tickets.
think about if you were if you paid $36 to become a diehard last year, and you got your shirt or you got your hat, you got 20% off one of our events that aren't free because we do free events too, and then you won 2 tickets to ASU BYU and watched what was one of the craziest games in college
At
football
like the 50-yard line.
with 2 field rushes in one game for Arizona State
That'd
to
be
continue
worth
their
it.
path
That'd
to
be
the
worth
Big
it.
12 championship. And you did that for $36. Like, you never know what's going to happen. We tell y'all these little secret stories that we're not allowed to tell
secret stories,
on air.
yeah.
There was one about ASU basketball recently that was insane.
Maybe one of the craziest stories I've ever heard.
Genuinely nuts. And I don't just say that to like create some FOMO.
Look, there are times where or I'm going to tell you right now, where we try and create FOMO. That story that was only in the diehard Discord was by far and away one of the craziest Arizona State stories I have ever heard.
That was on the verge of happening. If it did happen, it would have led SportsCenter.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. I'm not. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Am I wrong?
No.
It would have been the number 1 headline on ESPN. It would have led SportsCenter.
Yeah, it would have been.
And
I mean,
only our diehards know.
I would have hated to see it. But
I
that's
kind
just
of would have
me.
loved it.
I know you would have. I'm
It
sure
would have been fascinating.
It would have been fascinating.
fascinating.
I'm
And by
glad
the
it
way,
didn't
if you're
happen.
a new diehard and you don't know what we're talking about, just tag us in the Discord and we'll let you know.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Guys, again, make sure you hit that like button. You hit the subscribe button. If you're listening on audio, appreciate you making it this far. Make sure you drop a 5-star review. If you haven't,
Shout out
at this
Nelson
point-
Thompson, who just keeps commenting, who cares? Clearly you.
Is that,
You're
is
here.
that the third Thompson brother? Asor,
Not
Amen,
nearly as good of a defender.
and Nelson.
Yeah.
He's apparently
Also, just like a Hawks logo. Like,
Yeah.
what?
I
Pick
kinda-
a struggle.
I kind of like this bit.
pick a
Yeah.
struggle.
Who
You like
cares?
the bit of the who
You
cares?
care.
I think it's great.
Yeah. It's definitely original.
My favorite thing is this. Who cares? Came in with the intro offer. Who cares?
You're here.
J-
Oh.
JJ, what if I go 50-50? JJB.
Oh.
Jesse in the
JJ
Discord?
considering you right now?
JJ.
JJB, by the way, is one of the just most dedicated ASU basketball sickos that I have ever
Probably
not even
ever,
met,
probably ever
just
seen.
ever seen at this point. He is always keeping his ear to the concrete outside of DFA, just waiting,
Ow, it's hot.
waiting to talk about ASU.
So we
hoops.
call him Ready or Jesse.
Yeah,
Listen, JJ,
Ready or Jesse.
if you become a diehard for $18, you're basically getting a shirt for free, and we will
Less than that.
Yeah, we will talk hoops, and you could talk hoops as much as you want, and I think that would be a very welcome presence. JJ, we need you.
DM Shane, DM the Deli Man. Are the Deli Man's DMs open?
The Deliman's DMs are open.
Taking orders.
Order up one diehard membership, please.
One half off diehard membership, please.
Oh man! All right, we've talked a lot of ASU hoops. Probably the most ASU hoops discussion we've had in months.
Probably the most
Real quick,
we will talk.
Most we
is
will.
Bobby Hurley a sitting duck with one? I'm just kidding.
Let's
Wow.
talk about Mickey, not the mouse. Mickey Williams committing to ASU, now the 4th defensive lineman to date to join ASU's 2026 class. Kenny continues to cook the 6'5", 210-pound, 3-star edge rusher, choosing ASU over Auburn, Arkansas, Kansas State, among some other schools. We had actually talked about Mickey Williams, I believe, a couple weeks ago on this show.
We always talk about Mickey Williams
and
first.
This guy, he's the one that we talk about as just violent. He's the guy that, like, at the point of attack, like, he's a unit. He reminds me a lot of Tingay, the local guy that they were able to get, except this guy is bigger at 6'5", 210 pounds. It's a great addition. They're up to 18 commits now, which I believe is tied for the second most in the Big 12 for the class of 2026. I think West Virginia, if I'm not mistaken, has the most at 21. But Arizona State did beat out Kansas at this point for the highest rated recruiting class in the Big 12 for the class of 2026. And I believe today starts the period where you can't contact players, you can't do all that type of stuff. So these recruiting rankings will likely sit here up until, the next announcement, which be on the lookout for Landon Meary, tight end, 4-star tight end, according to Rivals, 3-star by 24/7. He's set to commit, I believe, July 11th. And Arizona State is in his Final Four. From everything I've heard, Landon Meary certainly in play for Arizona State. So be on the lookout for that. But getting back to Mickey, just another big, like literal big
let's look
addition.
at, so let's look at the measurables here. Okay, from the four names that we mentioned, start with Mickey Williams, like you said, 6'5", 210, right? Then you go to Ronald Derrick III, defensive end out of Waco, Texas, 6'5", 250. Okay, Julian Hugo, edge out of, guess where? Texas.
Tejas.
6'4", 250. The smallest one, by the way, and these are players with one more year of high school football, by the way, is Sinai Tengai, edge defender or edge rusher. I'd say edge defender on Rivals. I don't know why I say edge defenders. Who calls
Rivals
them,
is
who
weird,
calls them
dude. I don't
edge
know.
defenders?
Rivals is weird.
Or you say,
Rivals is
they're
weird.
an edge defender.
He's
What?
defending the edge.
What? Okay, anyway, if anything, offensive linemen are edge defenders. Okay, 6'2", 235. That's the smallest.
And he is probably the most, for lack of a better term, ferocious out of all of them, and he's the smallest.
And one of the things that I really liked from our, guess what, Die Hard Discord over the weekend was they're talking about the measurables for these guys and how they trust these coaches to fit them to a scheme and to identify.
Yeah.
Like when you look at like 3 stars, you know how many 3 stars there are in the country?
A lot.
Right? You know how many like 4 stars there are in the country?
Fewer.
But still a decent
Yeah.
amount. Like you have to identify guys that fit your scheme, guys with building blocks and measurables that you can mold and craft into who you want them to be. And there's a clear sign here that, hey, we need big boys.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you want to compete against SEC teams in the playoffs, right? If you
They're
want to
huge.
dominate
They're big.
the Big 12, like think about what was when you were on the field for the Big 12 championship and you compared Arizona State's roster to Iowa State's roster. What stood out to you? Because I know what stood out to me.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the size and the mass of the guys that ASU had in the trenches. I think that's something that stood out to me, but it's also not just in that game. Is like I've been covering Arizona State, and I think Shane can attest to this too for the last several years. And that is something that was a clear, like, missing factor for Arizona State was size to compete. And that might sound like something that you wouldn't think of, but when you watch Oregon, right, and you see them on the TV, and yes, you can look and they're like, oh, they're slightly bigger, right? But if you're watching athletes on TV, same thing with the NBA, they look smaller on the TV, right? But when you're there in person and they're going up against some of these other guys, like the difference that 2 inches and 30 pounds makes in a football game is huge, absolutely huge. And in the past, especially under Herm, the offensive linemen, the defensive linemen, the edge rushers, the linebackers did not have Division I like competitive size.
Yeah.
And when I say competitive size, I mean there's a reason that Arizona State couldn't compete with Oregon year over year. There's a reason why ASU couldn't compete with Utah year over year. Yeah. There's even a reason when you get to the Texas game last year and you look at the Peach Bowl and why Arizona State struggled so mightily early on in that game. It's because Texas is ginormous, right? These types of teams that compete in the college football playoff, that compete in conference championships year over year, they are built for that. There's a reason that guys from Ohio State, Georgia, Bama go to the NFL. Why? Not just because they're on good teams, not just because they're talented, but because their size can translate, right? Size is something that you can't teach. So if I can get a guy that is maybe not as polished, but he's 6'5", 210 pounds, I'm going to take that because with a little bit of coaching and you put him in the weight room with a professional like staff, this guy can be everything you need in a player.
Well, also, you can get one guy that's, the adequate size.
Yeah.
That's not enough.
No.
It's Kendrick. It's not enough. Like, you... my favorite thing is when I do something stupid and I just look over and Shane is just shaking his head. It makes me feel very, very good inside.
Yeah, that's fair.
By the way, Sharon is literally offering to pay for JJ to be a diehard. Again. I mean,
Sharon's a legend.
Sharon is like a 10-time over diehard.
She's the mother of the Discord.
It's just insane. JJ, we need you to respond. JJ, take the offer. Okay? Take it. Anyway.
Shut up and take Sharon's money at this point.
When you mention Oregon and Bama's and Texas and SEC teams and Big Ten teams and teams that are consistently competitive, it's not just that they have a couple players that fit this size. It is depth.
It's everybody.
It is everybody on their roster. And when you start looking across and reading off these names that we're talking about in this recruiting class, it's clear that this staff sees that vision.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. Think about where these staffs have been before, these coaches, before they were at Arizona State, specifically Kenny, right? He was at Oregon. He knows what top 10 size and talent looks like. He was at Florida State. He knows what it takes to win, right? They played some big-time teams while he was at Florida State,
Yep.
Notre Dame being one of them. And you go back, you look at where he was at with Memphis, with Auburn. Everywhere that he goes, they try and implement a system. But yes, you can have certain players, but unfortunately, they do have to fit certain builds, right?
Yeah.
For certain positions. And when we're talking offensive linemen and defensive linemen, if you want to compete with Texas, if you want to compete in the college football playoff and you don't want to just be a team that gets the invitation every year and has a first round exit, then yeah, you got to be just as big as everybody else. Like, it's just what you have to be. Otherwise, you are at such a crazy disadvantage at such a key position like the offense and defensive line that it's never going to work. And for Arizona State to be a bigger team against Iowa State in the Big 12 championship, you saw the dominance. Right? That's what those former Pac-12 teams were doing to ASU just few short years ago, right? Even when ASU had Kenny in year one, I remember at that Oregon game when Oregon came to town and Bo Nix was here, and Oregon kicked the crap out of Arizona State. But you go to that, you go down on the field, say what you want about the quarterback, say what you want about the skill guys. The size difference in those players was astronomical. There was no way that Arizona State was going to win that game with the level of talent that Oregon had and the size of those players. But slowly, Arizona State has been starting to get bigger, and it means something, right? I said when CJ Fight got here, Arizona State doesn't get defensive tackles that look
well,
like
and you've
this guy.
seen like when we talk about him, right? And when we mention like, hey, like this is somebody that has this potential to go high in the first, not high in the first round. I mean, maybe it could be a first round pick, but like high in the draft, right? Be one of the better players on ASU's defense. Like, part of that is not just because he's smart, not just because he has good technique. Part of it is he has NFL game-wrecking size, dude.
Yeah.
Like, this is somebody that could be a wrecking ball on the line because of how damn big he is.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm sorry. Nelson Thompson in the chat says he's just taking shots.
I
at the
think
Suns
Nelson
now.
might be confused.
Nelson, 3 o'clock is the Sun show. I'll be there.
Go
I'll
troll
be
the
there.
Suns, man.
Come yell at me. It's
Well,
fine.
he is
Come
yelling
yell
at
me.
you right
Come
now.
yell at me at 3. No,
This is
okay.
his
This is a
appetizer.
safe space. This is Arizona State. We're talking about a good team. We're talking about Arizona State football. Okay. Yell at me about the Suns on this very channel at 3. Hey, subscribe, Nelson. Hey, become a diehard, Nelson. Okay. you like that one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nelson, nobody's going to pay for your diehard membership, but you should totally become
Get
one.
a Sore or a Men to do it. They're loaded at this point. They can help you get in.
Yeah, your brothers certainly have the juice for sure.
Oh man, no, it's great to see again Arizona
okay.
State getting this guy, and especially like we don't talk a lot about some of the other schools that are in play for some of these guys. We'll usually brush it off as he had offers, whatever. He's getting. I mean, Arizona State got him over Auburn, Arkansas, a couple of SEC schools, and then of course the school in Kansas State. I believe West Virginia offered him as well. Some Big 12 schools. Like Arizona State is doing what they need to do to not be the flash in the pan that we seemingly talk about every show.
Do you feel like for Arizona State, like we talk about being consistent, right?
Mhm.
And not being a flash in the pan. Was the biggest thing that they were missing this consistent size across these key positions, especially on the line? Or like, is there something else that they've either addressed or need to address that would be like, okay, that is kind of the key to building this foundation to where you can compete through the rest of the 2020s into the 2030s and beyond?
I think for me, I mean, obviously when Herm was gone, there were a lot of different things that needed to be kind of rebuilt if this program was going to actually be competitive at a really high level. You needed the coaching staff, and that's been in place, right? Minus the first year, you got a new OC, you have a new wide receivers coach. Not that there was anything wrong with Rashad Samples. He's, I believe, the running back coach still now at Oregon. But like, you've got your staff in place now. You got probably a top 3 offensive coordinator, if not the best OC in the country. You got a top 10 DC in Brian Ward. You got great assistants around him. So you've got the coaching staff, and you needed the pipelines, right? So you're trying to build locally, which we've talked about. You've got a good foothold in Texas and California, while you also slowly pick players that you want that fit your system from all over the rest of the country. And the other things that were missing was an elite level quarterback, which, sorry, there's just such a short amount of those like nationally available. ASU managed to develop one and hit on one from the moment he got here in Sam Leavitt. And then the other question was size, right? Because you've seen in the past, ASU has had talent. Jaden Daniels, he's talented quarterback. Brandon Ayuk, talented wide receiver. Rashad White, talented running back. Did those teams ever do diddly squat? No. Why? Because when they get to the big time moments, they weren't big enough. They weren't big enough, and they didn't have the coaches in place. So when you talk about long-term success, especially like for ASU in this conference, when we're talking about size, look at some of these like just younger offensive linemen and defensive linemen. Let me get there first. So Lency Manu, who is a defensive lineman, he was a redshirt freshman. He's 6'3", 240 pounds. You've got Deshaun Morgan, a true freshman, 6'4", 250 pounds. This is defensive lineman. Again, redshirt freshman Ramar Williams, 6'3", 275 pounds.
Oh my!
These are
275 pounds
as a redshirt freshman. These are big
dudes.
19
years old.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what they're feeding these guys on the defensive line. And then the offensive line is even crazier, dude. Mekhi Stewart, freshman, 6'5", 350 pounds. Matai Jefferson, freshman, 6'4", 330 pounds. I'm going to butcher this dude's name. So sorry. Last name is Muti. First name is Manamo. Ui is what I'm going to go with. That kind of sounds good off the tongue, honestly. 6'7", 310 pounds as a freshman.
Dude, that's Mike. What are you talking about?
Okay, stop it. 6'7", 310 pounds as a freshman, dude. Like, are we serious? Xander Ruggiero, redshirt freshman, 6'6", 295 pounds.
That one.
Terrell Kim, 6'3", 330. I haven't mentioned a single guy up front that's below 320 pounds, and they're freshmen.
And you're not mentioning the guys that are playing this year.
Champ Westbrook, 6'5". He's the smallest weight-wise at 290 pounds.
Yeah, but he's 6'5".
Yeah. Like, these guys are humongous.
He's the smallest weight. Why is it 290 pounds?
Along the offensive line.
Oh, offensive. I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, Canyon Floyd, by the way, he's jacked now. He's 280 pounds.
Canyon Floyd, 280.
Yeah.
Just booting balls out of Mount America Stadium.
But think about it. Like, these are all just, like, ridiculously sized freshmen. And I made a big, like, hoopla about AJ Ia and how good he's going to be. But also, like, he's 6'6", 255 pounds. Yeah, dude, you better be good. You're bigger than everybody else. It's a lot easier when you're 6'6" to do things than when you're just 6'2".
Yeah. And listen, and that's not just a football thing.
No.
Right? Like, think about basketball. You look at Bobby Hurley's team. It's like, man, they need a center. Man, they need some size. Like, whatever it is. Right? When you get to this collegiate level, if you want to compete at the top ranks, you need to have the best athletes, and you need to have, when you have the best athletes, they have the best, physical statures
size
that go along with
matters.
There you go. Those 2 inches can make a difference.
They can. Absolutely.
By the way, Canyon Floyd, Horizon High School alum, go Skis.
Go Skis.
I forget that Ben went to Horizon.
David asking in chat, has anyone heard anything about the new football uniforms this year? No, I haven't specifically. I would love to see some throwback unis.
What was the date? July 1?
I believe it was July 1st, yeah.
July 1st, we have new ASU uniforms. July 2nd, Jurassic World comes out.
I'm super pumped. July 3rd is your birthday.
July 3rd is my birthday.
Wow.
July 4th
is
is...
whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's firework day.
Firework day. The Jurassic World movie doesn't look too great to me, honestly. I'm a little sad.
Are you like a? I know you're.
He's a
big
big
dinosaur.
dino
You're a
guy.
big dino guy.
He loves
I know you're a big dino
dinos.
guy. I don't know if you're big. Like, there's a dino guy. There's like Jurassic World, Jurassic Park people. I didn't
No,
know if
no,
you were
he's a
still in
dino.
on like the
He's just a
franchise.
dino
Oh
guy.
yeah,
You're still in on the franchise.
I'm wrapping up the original book right now.
book?
Really?
It's kind of horrifying.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Spoiler alert: if you're reading it, you probably already got here. The first 20 pages, a baby gets eaten.
Dude, I'm on page 19.
It's crazy.
A
It's like
baby gets
yeah, it's like way like scarier. Like it's like
like a horror
it's
book?
like kind of not. It's not that bad. Like imagine like if
How did we get here?
because we're talking about the
Dinos.
jerseys.
Oh.
I mean, that might be the fastest we've gone off the rails. It took like 30 seconds. It went from jerseys to Shane's like Jurassic World is
A
out
baby
July
got
2nd.
eaten by a T-Rex.
Yeah, not a T-Rex. It was a Compsognathus.
You had me try and spell that.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And I spelled it correctly.
Did you?
Yep.
Yeah,
Do it now.
When,
COMPSAGNATHUS.
Wait, say it again.
Compsognathus.
You said C-O-M.
P
Okay.
SAGN
Wrong.
SUGN
Wrong.
SOGN
S-O-G-N.
NATHUS.
Yes. You're
Yeah.
one letter off.
I got it right the first
we had a
time.
dino spelling bee one time.
Yeah,
And
with
that's
Leah.
great. Yeah,
Anyway,
I didn't do too great.
Imagine if like you know how they're genetically
That's the first picture that pops up.
genetically engineered.
A cartoon.
It's a little cartoon.
It's a
drawing of-
cartoon dino.
Yeah, they're super cute. Imagine if like
It just ate a baby.
I don't
What do you
know.
mean?
What sound do you think a Compsognathus makes?
They make the noises. They're the little tiny copies, like the little
Are
tiny.
the ones that like kind of sound like chickens?
Yeah.
Make the sound for me.
No,
You know what a chicken sounds like.
I want to hear him do it.
he just basically said bark for me, dog.
Except he said cluck for me.
Yeah.
Cut those meats for me, Deli Man.
You do that, Chicken Little.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's 100% fair. We totally interrupted your story. I'm so sorry.
It's over now.
No, I want to hear it, man.
No, that's all you
Please,
get.
I'll shut up. I'll zip it.
Not only am I a dino kid, but I'm also a stubborn baby, and now I will not talk the rest of the episode.
Stubborn Dino
The
Baby.
rest of the episode? Oh, he's just going back to his
Hey,
mouth.
Stubborn Dino Baby is kind of a good
Stubborn
nickname.
Dino Baby? Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't roll off the tongue, though. He said maybe.
I mean, neither does the stupidest person alive. Actually,
No,
it
but
kinda
that
works.
one just like
It
hits.
kinda
It's
works.
like I could see that one in lights, you know?
Tonight.
Join now, the dumbest person alive.
Tonight at Tempe Improv.
Yeah.
The stupidest person alive.
Yeah, you could see that. Stubborn
is it-
Dino
okay,
Baby
is
doesn't.
it-
Well, actually.
Stubborn Dino Baby is kind of a good band name. And am I the dumbest person or the stupidest person?
I
alive?
think it's the dumbest person.
dumbest
alive. I think the
person
dumbest person
Okay.
alive definitely is more of a like, hey, like, get your Cracker Jacks here. Come look at the dumbest person alive.
Ah, it's the dumbest person
Like
alive.
that
yeah?
one. That one definitely.
You'll never
rolls.
believe your eyes. The IQ of -15. This person can't even speak. Hit the bell.
Oh my gosh, man! What's your favorite dino?
Oh, dude. I don't know.
The Dilly Rex?
The Dilly Rex.
No, that one doesn't go great. What did we call Dilly Willy? Dilly Willy? No, Dilly Wonka.
Dilly Wonka.
There we go.
You were so close there.
Oh my goodness. Guys, make sure you hit that like button. You hit the subscribe button. You drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. JJB, slide in the Deli Man's DMs or talk to Sharon. Let's get this deal done, man. We'll include the 10th overall pick, maybe 5 second rounders. Does that sound good to you? And we can figure it out.
I love throwing in second round picks.
Yeah, big fan. Maybe
Much rather have 5 second round picks than a first round pick.
maybe even Dylan Brooks. Maybe we'll give you Dylan Brooks. But that
Speaking of dinosaurs, he has T-Rex arms.
oh my gosh. Guys, that's going to do it for today's episode of the PHNX Sun Devils show. If you enjoyed today's content, give us a follow at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow Jose Perez here at Erik Ruby. That is Erik with a K. You can follow the Deli Man at Shane Dief. As always, guys, go Devils. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.